What is going on, everybody? How we doing, friends?
Very good, very good. How about you,
Good,
man?
sir. I'm good, man. I'm just a little tease promo of for our guest, possibly. So, Mr. Blake, if you would like to do a special intro for our friend here.
Well, I got to say, man, it is an exciting time to be a Titans fan. It's playoff time. We're in the playoffs. And not only are we in the playoffs, we're hosting a home playoff game for the first time in 12 years. 12 years. And we're hosting the Baltimore Ravens, a team that not many more of us hate than any other team out there. So we need somebody to fire us up. We need somebody with experience as a champion. Maybe even a mega power.
Maybe.
I can't introduce this person. I'm just going to let him introduce himself.
Oh, yeah. That's right. You can't introduce me. Can't even lace my boots. But I'm going to go ahead and gratify you right now by being on your show. Yeah, giving you a few minutes of my time. Yeah. Want some Titans. Let's do it.
Macho, it's a pleasure to have you, buddy. Hope you're doing great, my friend.
Doing fantastic. Thanks for having me on the show, Phil.
Pleasure, baby.
The one and only Macho Titan, as featured on the Titan social media account last week. Macho, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself?
A little bit about me. Well, I am the greatest champion to ever put on a pair of boots, number one. In fact, I've been the biggest Titan supporter probably all year. No one even comes close to being second. That's right, yeah. Because wouldn't let me play, wouldn't let me put on a helmet because of all the injuries that I will cause. Yeah, I'm that kind of an athlete. Yeah, I can play all 11 positions on the field. Yeah. But yeah, a little bit about me. Yeah, been the Macho Titan for a little over a year now. Yeah, and steamrolling. Yeah, snowballing. Everything's going well for me. Yeah, a lot of hits on Twitter, a lot of Facebook love. Yeah, all the fans reaching out for the Titans, and I'm pulling them all in, reining them all in across the country. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Well, of all the teams you could have selected, you selected the Tennessee Titans. Why the Titans?
There's not all the teams. That's the only team, first of all. Yeah. Titans are the only team to me. And the reason the Titans is because I'm a hometown Tennessee guy. That's right, yeah. Upper East Tennessee, moved down to Nashville about 17, 18 years ago. And yeah, ever since, Titans bleeding two-tone blue. Two-tone blue.
Beautiful, beautiful. Ever since, I mean, so you're a true Titans fan as they come. I mean, what's the origin story? How did Macho get started?
It happened about a little over a little over a year and a half old now. Back did a Halloween bit for my wife. Had the bandana and the glasses and the hair here, my beautiful hair, and did the impression. We sent it to some work colleagues, and yeah, went put it on Twitter. Got a lot of hits on Twitter. A lot of people wanted to see it happen again and again. Made them laugh, let everybody feeling real good about themselves. So yeah. So once that happened, we just continued to do it every week and try to unite the fan base. But yeah, I love doing it every single week, and yeah, it's just one of those things that just kind of took off for me.
It's a beautiful story, sir. It's a pleasure to have you. I mean, the goggles, the headband, a beautiful impersonation. You're the greatest there ever was, you know.
All time.
So we have an awesome set of fans. And I know Bussin' with the Boys had some promos up and thrown up guys. I mean, these are A-plussers. And my friend, you're on the big time now. We've got you today. So awesome.
Well, I appreciate the kind words. Definitely appreciate
it. We got you, baby. We got you. And we do want to talk a little bit about some foosball, you know. It is our sport. What did you think about last week? Give us any thoughts you got, buddy.
I want to tell you right now, last week it wasn't a pretty sight in the Macho Titans house. Let's just put it that way. In fact, everyone left the room but me. I was the only one left after everything was broken and smashed. A little upset, but in true Titan fashion, we pulled it out. We snatched victory from the jaws of defeat, I should say, yeah. And bounced one off the upright. Some finally went our way, and yeah. But every week, I shouldn't be surprised, but got the victory. That's all that matters.
That's the truth. And
Definitely
I
on
mean, I
pins and
know.
needles for sure.
Oh my goodness, you should have seen us at Parkway Poorhouse, man. Everybody was on a knee.
Mhm.
And we have the video on our social media. The kick hits the upright, and if you watch the video 100 times, just watch a different person's face every time. The confusion, the shock, the what just happened, and there's about 3 or 4 seconds, and then we realized that it went through. And pandemonium, absolute pandemonium. I mean,
Unbelievable. Unbelievable finish for
unbelievable.
sure.
I mean, a game where back and forth. You know it's going to be a tough game because it's a divisional game. You know it doesn't matter what the records are. Throw them out. You're always going to play them tough. And Derrick Henry to come out not just have a big game, to have the best game of his career, 250 on the ground,
Yep.
get that
Couldn't
2,000
stop him.
mark.
Couldn't stop him.
Offense is great, making a lot of big plays. Defense still kind of letting us down. So that strategy is going to have to continue to be, if you can't stop them, you got to outscore them.
Yeah.
And like you said, we got a little lucky on the final kick, but hey, at the end of the day, a W is a W.
Doesn't
I
matter. Get the victory.
Heck yeah, I think we all heard him call bank. Pretty sure.
Sure.
Oh, he didn't call bank. He called game. Yeah.
My man.
There's a difference. There's a difference.
Big
my friend.
difference.
Doesn't
Paul
matter
Pierce,
how
great quote.
take it one way or the other. Doesn't matter. That thing was going in.
Yeah, it was fate. We needed that. Titans fans really needed that one. Wanted to come out. We wanted that championship. It feels good to be a champion again, doesn't it, Macho?
Well, it always
Feels
feels
good.
great to be a champion. Yeah, I know that from a past experience. Yeah, but never a doubt in my mind the Titans are checking all the boxes right now. Yeah, division champs. There's a box checked, and next is going to be AFC champs. Yeah, that's the next box, and then of course the Lombardi Trophy. Yeah, the pinnacle of all prizes. Yeah, going to hoist it.
I mean, as of right now, what are you thinking? I mean, what's got to change and what's got to stay the same for the Titans to be AFC champs and hoisting that Lombardi Trophy also at the end?
Well, I think right now offensively we're fine. I don't have any problem with the offense. The offense is gelling. We're doing just fine there. I believe we're the second highest scoring offense in the league. I believe behind Kansas City, who we will see next week. Yeah, but defensively, I think you're going to see a few surprises this Sunday. I think maybe we were sandbagging a little bit, not real sure. Maybe Vrabel was holding something in his hip pocket, and once he unveils the new strategy and scheme, yeah, no one's going to know what's happening. Yeah, things start fresh. We don't have the worst defense now. It all starts over. We got the equal playing field with everyone, all right? That's the way it's going to happen. But defense is definitely going to carry us through the playoffs for sure. It's got to.
I like it, man. I like it. And we're kind of in the same place we were last season. You know, it wasn't the Ravens in the first round, granted, but every round the Titans advanced to, the Titans don't have a chance against that team. What are you talking about? The Patriots. It's the Patriots. Oh, it's the Ravens. They're riding a double-digit win streak into the playoffs. And at the end of the day, the records don't matter in the postseason. Just win. Just win.
It's all about respect. I believe we're a 3.5-point dog right now. Yeah,
at home.
Disrespectful. That's disrespectful. I don't like it one bit. I almost flew out to Vegas myself, but gonna have to step back. Bring it in a little bit. Let the Titans handle their own business. Yeah,
bulletin board material.
Beautiful.
Absolutely.
Man, I can't believe a 3.5-point dog at home. It's kind of weird. I mean, I know they're hot. I get it. The Ravens are hot, but it's not like we've already beat them twice in a row.
They've won about 6 in a row, maybe 6 in a row. I believe the streak they're on. But let's just look at some of those opponents. I mean, the Bengals were on there, Dallas, the Giants. Not anything great. Not anything. Not a juggernaut. Nothing big. So I'm not really fearful of them. I know they can run the ball, but we have a guy too that runs the ball. It takes their whole team to do what one of our guys can do. So that's what it's all about right there. I'm not scared at all about Sunday, not at all.
No. I think we're a great matchup for them. I really do. I think overall, I know the defense is kind of lackluster, but I mean, it wasn't the greatest last year. There's not a ton of differences, and look what they did in the playoffs against them last year. Vrabel talked about earlier this week. You're going to force these guys outside, and hopefully you can chase them down. Who on the defensive side do you really, really, really want to see step up this week?
Right now, we've got to get a pass rush. That's the bottom line. Everybody can talk secondary, but you can't cover for 6 seconds, 8 seconds. You can't do it. It's hard to do right in a professional environment. Got to get a pass rush in there. So I think it's going to be real key for a Harold Landry, Jeffrey Simmons. Gotta force some pressure. Keep Lamar Jackson in the pocket. It all starts up front on the defensive line. And those linebackers got to be spying Jackson. I mean, I think that's the whole key to the game. I'm not worried about the pass. I'm not worried about him throwing for 300 yards. That doesn't scare me, and we're used to that anyway. So, yeah, our secondary, I think, will be fine if we can get a pass rush going, and that'll change the entire game. You saw a little bit of it last week. We did get some pressure on Deshaun Watson. I believe we had a few sacks, 3 or 4 sacks, yeah.
Well, talking about the defense, let's transition into talking about some of the injuries on the injury report earlier this week. Chase, were you able to find the injury report?
Let me get that bad boy pulled up here.
Perfect. So big couple of stories coming out of today. Aaron Brewer, not injury related, but he has been added to the COVID-19 reserve list. So Aaron Brewer at guard, a no-go for at least this week, possibly longer. Kevin Byard didn't practice on Wednesday. However, he was a full participant today. So that's a step in the right direction. Dennis Kelly has not practiced. Neither has Roger Saffold for the past 2 days. Although Saffold has gone on record in saying with the magnitude of the game this weekend, there's absolutely no way he's going to miss this game, which we were missing Saffold the first time around earlier this year. Yeah. So that's one of those things that could make a difference. And, of course, Gostkowski being back. Thank you so much, Sam Sloman, from this past week. But, I'm ready to get Gostkowski back out there. One of the most clutch playoff kickers in NFL history, and it's getting to be his time of the year. So definitely looking forward to getting some of those guys back. On the Ravens side, you have DJ Fluker, who hasn't practiced, nursing a knee injury. Marlon Humphrey and Willie Snead, both limited participants in practice today. Ngakoue, Jimmy Smith, limited participants, and then Mark Ingram and Brandon Williams not practicing, but it was not injury related. So our injury list is a bit longer than theirs, but I think everybody on both sides realizes the magnitude of this game, and if they have to drag themselves on that field, I think they're going to be ready to go this week. I think, Macho, you know a thing or two about injuries.
You fight through them, yeah. You got to go out there and do what you can. Doesn't matter, little nagging injuries. I'm not worried too much about limited participation. It's usually rest. Yeah, I'm not worried at all. Titans are going to be strong. They're going to be tough. It doesn't matter. They're going to play. They're going to play just like they always did. Through the injuries, no matter what, they'll have to take a neck from above to keep them off the field. Yeah, because I'm going to make a few phone calls as well just to make sure they do get on the field because they're not letting the Macho down. For sure. Guarantee that.
No
way.
Definitely not.
If there's one person we're not going to let down.
Wouldn't be smart. There will be an injury if that's the case. I'll make sure it happens. I've overcome a lot of obstacles. Yeah.
Heck yeah, baby. Well, I will say on the Dennis Kelly part, I know because he's been nursing that knee for quite some time now. He misses a lot of Wednesday and Thursday practices. I don't think that's anything out of the crazy ordinary. So that's a little something to, heal your heart if you're worried about this offensive line because, going to need it. I do think they're going to try to get after that front and try to make it hard on Derek. A lot of run blitzes and, they're going to try to make it quick if Tannehill gets it out of his hands. So hopefully we'll have a fully healthy offensive line because we're going to need it. It's going to need it going to these playoffs. It's going to get cold. It's not going to feel great. Macho, do you think the Derrick Henry toughness is just going to absolutely crush the souls of said Ravens defense?
I think as the game moves on, I think they're going to be – the game plan will be obvious for Baltimore. They're going to be keying on Derrick Henry from the start. So we've got to balance that out. Ryan Tannehill's going to have to do his thing, and he's going to have to do what he needs to do. But I think as the game moves on and everybody starts to wear down, that's when you don't want to tackle number 22. No, sir. And the Ravens might as well just not even try to tackle him, honestly. They could bring back Ray Lewis. He's not getting in front of 22. I can guarantee that. Because, yeah, he'll wear him down. That's the game plan. But, I think it'll be a slow start a little bit for Mr. Henry. But he'll bounce back, and he'll start beating down the defensive line and those linebackers. No one's going to touch him.
Nah, be good.
He's too strong, too big a guy.
Too strong.
I'm the only one probably that can slow him down. If anybody out there can slow him down, it'd probably be me. But he's a friend of mine. He's an ally of mine. Not gonna. We're mega powers right now. Yeah, he's part of the team.
he is the other side of that.
He's the other side of the mega power. Yeah, absolutely. The
I
whole
believe
Titans
that.
organization and fan base is my mega powers. They put it right there every time.
Ah, it's a sweet start.
It's awesome. So let's talk about a little bit of the series. I mean, we saw, the second win for the Titans versus the Ravens in a row a little bit earlier this year. A game that, by all accounts, we had many, many reasons to lose that game, but found a way to do it, namely with number 22, with the backbreaking touchdown at the end of the game in overtime. Looking at the series, it's a 25-game series right now. The series was tied 12-12 going into that last game. So now the Titans hold a slight 13-12 edge with a 2-game win streak. Interesting stat, the last 4 games between these two teams, the away team actually won. Home team hasn't won since 5 games ago. And the marquee matchup, talk about a WrestleMania matchup, Dollywood Brown versus Hollywood Brown.
Huh.
Right? I like Dollywood Brown. That's my favorite. They
Nice.
can call
I like
it.
what
They
you-
can.
I like
They
what
can
you
call
did
him
there,
Arthur
yeah.
Juan. They can call him Arthur Juan Kenobi all they want to. I am 100% for Dollywood Brown.
Hollywood Brown. I like it.
Fantastic.
I like
Everybody talks about the Titans' defense, especially this season. But in the last 2 matchups total, they've allowed a grand total of 36 points between the last 2 matchups. So it can be done. The biggest key, like we said before, is to stop the Ravens' rushing game. They have the number 1 rushing attack in the entire NFL, and we have to play disciplined in the gaps. It's not just playing defense. It's playing defense in those gaps because they have retooled this offense from last year. Last year, the Ravens ran a lot of 13 personnel, which means they had 3 tight end sets. If you have more tight ends in the game, you have defenses lined up closer to the line of scrimmage, making it harder for Lamar to hit those gaps. So they're not idiots. So they changed in the offseason to where they primarily run an 11 personnel, which is just a 1 tight end, 1 running back set. They're running that set 48% of the time, nearly half of their plays, and they're running out of that formation 43% of the time, either through the running back or Lamar or a jet sweep or something like that. So we're going to have to play disciplined defense in those gaps because if our defense has a weakness, I would say we are weaker against the pass than the run. So if we can stop the run and force them into that passing game like we did last year where Lamar was having to force throws where he didn't need to force them, that's our opportunity right there, is to do that.
Yeah.
I don't use the word weakness at all, ever. I never use the word weakness. I always use currently struggle with. Yeah. And I would agree with that. We currently struggle against the pass. Yeah. But weakness, don't have any. Yeah. We struggle in the secondary, but again, it's getting better and better. You're seeing a little bit difference every single week, a little bit more of improvement. Yeah. But streaks will stop on Sunday, a couple of them. Number 1, the Ravens win streak stops. Number 2, the home team's going to win this one. That's another streak that's stopping. Put that one in the bank. Vegas, they can put that one in their bank. Yeah. I'm going to lay some money down right now, matter of fact, probably.
Yeah, that's Action 24/7 right there. Sending that over here in just a few minutes. So, yeah, you got to watch out for the fact of them, getting hot early and getting this steam ball rolling, because I do think the best thing for the Titans to do is to get out early. This Ravens offense is not built to come back, and I think it's a terrible idea for the Ravens to try to get in a shootout with Tennessee. This Titans team can put up some points, and I get it. The Ravens have been putting up points, but as you mentioned, Nacho, they ain't been playing the best competition. They've not played any of the best teams. These are some struggle bus teams.
And mid-quarters. No main eventers in that lineup there. No main eventers, just mid-quarters. Jobbers and jabronis is what they've been playing. Jabronis all day long, yeah.
Yes, love that. So I really think if this Titans team can get out early, make some stops early, get these guys in the cold, make Lamar, like you said, Blake, make Lamar throw, make him do some more stuff. Yes, we do talk about him. I know nationally sometimes it gets like a weird narrative of him being this horrendous passer, but he can sling the football, but it's just not his best attribute. So I do think that, like you said, buddy, if we get these guys out, make them start having to play catch up, it should be a very similar game to last year and probably early on in the season.
Yeah, it's not Madden. This isn't Madden football right now. He's not a 99 rating on that football field this year for a fact.
No, but
He never wins when I play Madden. Never. I always get the victory. I'll reset it if I have to, but I always get the victory. By any means necessary.
Is there a possible the Xbox or PS4 might have turned off by itself?
Listen, I'm not going to admit to anything right now. Something just happened. When I'm starting to feel like it's not going my way, you do what you have to do. Ricky Steamboat felt the same way and had to crush his larynx there. But, yeah, I do what I have to do to get any kind of victory I can get. And the thing's going to do the same thing on Sunday. Yeah.
That's wonderful. Oh, it doesn't matter if you win by an inch or a mile. Winning's winning.
Winning's winning. That's right. Vin Diesel said it best.
That's right. So, and you talk about Chase not wanting to get in a shootout. That is not what the Ravens want to do. My fear is that the Ravens are going to try to play ball control. That's the only shot they have against a prolific offense like the Titans are fielding this year. Is you run the ball, you hold the ball, you run the play clock down, you limit the number of plays that Derrick Henry can touch the ball and that Tannehill can throw the ball. Long time consuming drives, which is why the defense has to step up. And, it could come down to one defensive stand, meaning the difference in this ball game. You could very well see it could turn into a shootout, and it could be the team that manages to get one pivotal defensive stop could be the difference in the game. So I know that Vrabel's going to get them coached up. I know that these guys know that they're going to have to get it together, and they're going to have to stop that run if we have a chance. Because like you said, they're not built for a comeback because it's not a high-flying passing offense. It's all about the run. And if you're able to do it successfully, why try to do anything differently? You got to force them into that.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. Make them one-dimensional. I think that's what they are anyway, honestly. I think that's what it's going to be. I think it's going to be about ball control all day long. And the Titans are going to have to really maintain the clock, I think, keep them off the field. It's all right. Let them get rusty. Lamar will panic. Yeah. Lucky Lamar. I've always called him lucky because he escapes every single time we play him, and he's able to play the next week. But this is his last game, so go out with some dignity, Lamar, and just, take the loss.
It's a smart play. That's our
very smart.
Yeah. You don't want to play another week. Not after the beat we're going to put on you. That's not.
In fact, we're doing them a favor. Really, we're doing Baltimore a favor, putting you out of your misery, sending you on back to Baltimore. Yeah, just go on back. It's fine. You're regroup for next season. Yeah.
There you go. Smart play. You don't want to play us again. We'll see you again next year. Maybe it'll just be in a later round so they can make it farther.
I don't even think they may not even want to play football after the beating they're going to take. They may just tuck it in. Move their franchise yet again. Who knows? We don't know what.
And I tell you what, like you said, a lot of the disrespect and the point spread and all these columnists saying that the Ravens are the favorite, that they're going to come in here and do this. We're losing the fact that Lamar Jackson has repeatedly not performed in the playoffs. Guy's never won a playoff game, until he does so, I don't know how you can come at it with the attitude of, oh, well, this is the revenge game, or, oh, this is going to be the blowout that they should have given the Titans last year. Not necessarily. He's still the same quarterback. He's still the same guy out there. He's going to have to do something differently. And that's why I've got to continue to make him one-dimensional, like you said.
Yeah.
Titans solved it last week. Last year. Titans solved that puzzle last year.
Yeah. I think it's a little bit different. I think Dobbins makes a big difference for them. I think he's just he's an upgrade. He's an upgrade of what Ingram and them were last year. Gus played well last week, but not the best opponent, but it is what it is. There's just a lot we're going to have to contain. They're going to try to switch it up. The Lamar, humongous chip on his shoulder, because that dude is like almost a product of his own dynamic playmaking, because everybody watches him every week. He's the best, we get to watch the last 15 minutes of Baltimore this week kind of game. If, the CBS game or whatever, you're like, oh, sweet, I'll get to watch Lamar in Red Zone. I'm down with that. He's exciting. He's almost a product of his own success, where he has probably the biggest chip on his shoulder, maybe outside of like Rodgers at times, that you got to win, and you got to win like ASAP, even if it's just one playoff game, because his whole picture could change just after one win, especially against a good Titans team that, a lot of people I heard today and yesterday were like, oh, they're that big of an underdog? Like in some betting podcasts, are like, really? That? So we do have the Lamar chip on his shoulder factor. Do you think that goes into any sort of play this week? Do you think they change anything up, or is that just like even more pressure?
I don't for him. I don't think he does. I don't think he's going to go out there and try to play his game. But again, it's got to weigh on his mind a little bit late in the game. If he can't come back and he can't do anything, he's going to start forcing some passes, and that's exactly what we want to have happen. It happened last time we played him. The last 2 times we played him, yeah, he just we've solved the labyrinth. He's no longer a riddle. The NFL's seen our game plan from last year. Everybody's playing against, knows how to play him now. It's pretty simple strategy. He's got to keep him contained, make him throw the football, and he will make a mistake. That's a fact. And again, yeah, they've won 6 in a row, but again, no juggernauts in that 6-game win streak for sure.
What do you think, Blake?
I'm with you. And you mentioned J.K. Dobbins. Something about the Titans and a running back that can catch passes out of the backfield makes me a little uneasy. I'm more nervous about Dobbins than I am about Ingram. And this is me being I'm a big Bama fan, and I'll be the first to tell you that I'm more concerned with Dobbins than Ingram. Mm-hmm. But it'll be interesting to see. I think this is a really good question to ask. Would you be more concerned with the Ravens offense or the Ravens defense as they currently stand going into this weekend?
I'm more concerned about the defensive side of the ball, just because they are a very good, aggressive defensive team. Their front four is good, their linebacking core is good, and their secondary is strong. So they proved that time and time again. The offense, I think, is again one-dimensional. I think they can't throw. I'm not real impressed with that, and that's our Achilles heel. So in fact, they would be playing right into our strengths as the Titans are a little better against the run. Yet Dobbins has come on strong the last few games, and because of that, I think that poses a little bit of a different scenario, but we'll be ready for that. But I'm more concerned, I think, about defensively than I am offense with the Ravens.
I'm definitely going to agree with that, because 2 things, and one of them might be a product of the Titans themselves with the drops. I think that if they get aggressive and they're forcing the receivers to make a little tougher catches, coverages in better position, it's going to be in the playoffs. We all have seen it. Everybody's got to make tougher catches, body catches, stuff like that in one-on-one coverage. And I swear that every time that one of our receivers drops the ball, it doesn't go straight to the ground. It flies up in the air for 3 seconds, and you're just like in a panic for that whole time. And you're like, somebody's going to pick this off. And if they do that, that's where it could get worrisome, because these drops are really, really hurting. And I feel like these receivers have gotten away from, it's gotten away from them a couple times and gotten lucky because it just hits the dead ground. But you get a couple of those pops up and somebody's just in the right spot, man, that's going to be a really, really bad knock for Tannehill and them, because they really need they're going to need all these big plays. Every catch is going to have to be made, because we've made so many great 3rd down catches. A lot of them have been like in tight windows and tough coverage, and guys, AJ and Corey have made strong-handed catches throughout the whole year, but they've also dropped some of those. So you're going to have to make and secure those, because otherwise that defense is going to take some of those back, get some better field position, and that's not what you want for Lamar on that offense. So, yeah, I'm with you, Macho. I think that defense is going to put some pressure on them. That O-line, our O-line's a little banged up. And if they can attack, make some of those throws a little high for Tannehill, receivers drop a couple balls, and that causes turnovers, and that's a nightmare for this Titans this week, because cannot afford to lose offensive possessions, because like I was talking about earlier, it's going to have to be a high-scoring game for the Titans, I believe. Go ahead and get out front, attack them, we just run the ground game after that. But I don't know. A lot of worries for that defense. A lot of worries for our offense against that defense at times. What do you think, Blake?
That's my biggest concern. Exactly what you were saying is our front 4 versus their front 4, because we've had to shuffle people due to injuries, and we've had to put people out there who aren't comfortable in those positions that they may not start in. And if we're honest, Tannehill sometimes will hold the ball a little long, and sometimes he'll try to force something that may not be there. So sometimes discretion is the better part of valor. Maybe take that sack instead of committing that turnover, and then just, live to fight another down or another possession. You definitely don't want to, make a bad situation worse and be like, man, if we hadn't have had that one turnover, that'd be the difference in the game. It just has that feeling that it is going to be a high scoring, rare punting situation game.
Yeah.
Where, I mean, I can just see it coming down to one mistake, and that one mistake could cost you the rest of your postseason.
Yeah. This is my biggest worry.
The advantage special teams to Baltimore for sure. I think their kicker's a little bit more consistent than ours.
Slightly.
Many games this year, and our kicker's been who knows what's going to happen. But he's won some games. He's also had a few big misses that I was not happy with. Let's just put it that way.
Yeah, that's the only thing. It does hurt. I would like to see some better returns from our guys this week. Speaking of special teams, I think field position is pretty valuable this week for both teams, really. So I would like to see some better returns out of us. Starting field position needs to get a little bit better. Not always having to look for Derrick Henry 75 or 80-yard runs. So it would be nice to have a little bit better starting field position this week from some of the returns, and I think that's going to come along. I think there's a chance this week. Get them. This Titans team's going to get stops this week. I think they funnel in well. They do a good job against this Ravens offense. So there's going to be some punts. Make some of those things happen. Get down to the 50 instead of the other 30. Be kind of nice.
Be nice. We have the best punter in the league, though. We do have big Brett Kern.
Superstar,
yeah. In fact, got a jersey. Brett Kern. Only jersey I want to have right now, Brett Kern. Greatest punter of all time.
Goat.
We don't want to see him, but he's the greatest punter of all time.
Yes. All right. Chad Knipe here says, got to watch them fake punts on Fort Town. Got burned a few times this last year. Like, I don't know. That's kind of true. I agree with that, man. Which thoughts, boys? Fake punts. Scurry.
I mean, you gotta be aware as a professional. You gotta be aware of your situations. I know we've been burned by a couple, and we've also pulled off some. So you gotta be ready at the playoffs. They're gonna pull out everything they can. And if you start seeing a lot of trickery, that means they're a little nervous about scoring. That's what I feel. I feel like when teams start doing the fakes and all that, that means you're not confident and you're having to do whatever it takes. And I think you show your hand a little bit if you try to run some of that stuff. But gotta be on your toes for sure.
And that's what we saw out of the Texans last week. I mean, to be fair, we really should have saw that fake punt coming a mile away. I mean, I think most of us watching it at Parkway Poorhouse were like, A.J. McCarron is out there. A.J. McCarron is right there. And then, of course, it's a fake punt. But like you said, teams who don't really trust the offense, got nothing to lose, nothing to play for. I mean, not only did we see a fake punt in that game, we saw a flea flicker, that worked for a touchdown. And, how often do you see that in the pros? I mean, you see it in college all the time, but rarely in the pros. And then even when it does, happen, it normally doesn't work, but we fell for it. So you just got to mind those gaps, play sound defense, and do your job above all.
Yeah, that's all it is. Yeah, just be smart. They're going to try to gamble a little bit. They know they want to try to catch this Titans team off balance a little bit, get back at us. So we'll see. This one's shot for you, Macho Man. The Village People, Macho Man. I want to be a Macho Man.
Well, hey, don't knock the Village People or disco, baby. Don't knock it. In fact, I love disco music, Saturday Night Fever, the only album I would ever listen to on vinyl. That's it. All about disco. Don't knock the Village People.
Would never.
No, not at all.
Disco, yes or no, Blake?
I'm fine with disco. I like disco music. I've always enjoyed it. It has a good beat.
Well, a special love right here for you, Macho. Love Macho Man from Chili Pepper.
Well, appreciate it. That's right. Yeah. Fellow super fan. That's right. Always stick together. You got to know who your friends are. Yeah. Part of the world order.
These are some of the
appreciate
best.
Appreciate the kind word.
Well, you get a lot of love here, baby. And go back. Louis Chaney does say disco is cool. Thanks. So
love it.
My bad. Wasn't hating. Just asking a question about some disco.
Disco's phenomenal. Mimics the heartbeat.
Yeah. Macho, I do want to ask one question. Speaking of, we'll add in some chili pepper here. Who do you have, like, right now, a Titans, lack of a better term, like Avengers for super fans?
I do not have an assembled Avengers, if that's what you're asking. And if I did, I probably wouldn't reveal it right now.
Okay.
But
I just want to
it
see
could
like
come at a
instincts.
later time. It might be unveiled, once the Titans are getting ready to hoist the Lombardi Trophy or heading down to the Super Bowl. Yeah, the Avengers may have to assemble. But right now, I can't really reveal who's in that team right now. But if you're a smart man, and I'm not so sure just looking at you, but if you're a smart man, you might have already figured out a few of them.
I've got a few in mind. But I didn't know if you had the whole squad with you right now. So
Whole squad's not here. We're all doing our own thing. But yeah, we can assemble at any time.
love that. I just want to make sure. I just want to see. What else we got, boys? What else we want to touch on?
Well, how about this? How about we give our takes on how we think the game's going to go and a little bit of score prediction. That's always a little bit of fun.
All right. Who wants to start us off?
I'll go first, boys. Here's what's going to happen.
Baby.
I'll go first. Everybody's going to sit on their hands over there. All right, here's what's happening. Here's what's going to happen on Sunday. Number one, it's going to be a little slow start for the Titans, and the Twitter universe is going to start to panic a little bit, which like they always do. And what's going to happen is they're going to make a little comeback. It's going to be close around halftime, and the Titans are going to run the football okay, but then all of a sudden in the second half, it's going to be a different football game. And they're going to shut down the Ravens. They're going to adjust to their game plan. Titans are going to win this game, gentlemen, and they're going to win it with Ryan Tannehill throwing for over 300 yards. I'm going to book that right now. Tannehill's the key. He's going to throw for 300, and the Titans are going to win this one 33-26. Yeah, 33-26. And Tannehill's going to hit, I'm going to say, Ferkser in a surprise move at the end of the game to win it. 33-26. Going to put it away.
Ooh.
Ferkser,
So
the
specific
player.
I love that. Ooh, I'm gonna be close. I think it's actually gonna be pretty similar to last time. I think it winds up being 30-27. I think our boy Gostowski is gonna kick us a field goal in the last 2 minutes. Get us a dub. Redemption. Spelled Gostowski's name. I don't want to spell.
I was about to
Will
say,
there be no
I can't
spelling
remember
on the
this.
show? So there be no spelling or math, either one.
No. Two of the toughest things: words and
I'm
numbers.
not spelling. I can spell victory. 1, 2, 3. That's how I spell
Yes,
it.
that's it. All right,
like
Blake,
that.
what you got, buddy?
Well, man, I see this being, like I've alluded to, it is going to come down to one possession. Somebody is going to make one mistake. Somebody is going to make one explosive play, and it's just going to be one little stumble. And how could I pick against the Titans in their first game in Nashville in 12 years in the postseason? I'm going to go a little lower scoring than you guys say. I'm going to say 24-21. And I think it will come down to a field goal in the last few minutes of the game. Gostkowski finally silencing those of us who have doubted him so much all year.
Okay. All right. I like that.
I was getting a little worried there. So I heard your voice shake a little bit. And I don't want to have to make a special trip, but I'll do it if I have to. But a good pick, gentlemen. You guys are smarter than I thought.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. I've never been told I was smart. Here's one from our boys from YouTube. Go Preds, Cubs, Balls. 77-80. One last second field goal. Second highest scoring game of all time, maybe.
You gotta admire it. That's high scoring affair for sure. I'm not sure they'll have enough time to get to that number, but it wouldn't surprise me, gentlemen. It wouldn't surprise me at all.
That's a very Big 12 type game.
No defense at all on either side.
Yeah, no defense. Which we're not there yet.
Been the theme all year.
Oh, well, should we do our wonderful outro that we have? Our man, the myth, the legend, Macho Man. Would you give us a little speech to get the Titans a little rowdy, get these hot fans a little hype, get these guys on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, wherever you at, like us, share, subscribe, of course, Chat 10 Sports, and all the fun stuff, buddy. You fire away, my friend.
Absolutely. With pleasure. Here's exactly Baltimore Ravens. Yeah, on Sunday, AFC playoffs, the wild card round. Baltimore, we know all about you. Yeah. And you're nothing in particular, but everything in general. That's exactly right. Yeah. And starting to become a little bit of a tradition for the Titans to send you packing. Yeah. 3 out of the last 4, we sit you home with a loss. And this week's going to be nothing different. Yeah. Because after Sunday, the Titans' hands are raised in victory, yeah, all the way to the top of the charts. Yeah, cream of the crop, yeah. They raise their hand in victory, yeah. Baltimore, you're going to limp back home. Lamar Jackson, yeah, maybe not even going to play again. Because the Titans are going to tighten up on Sunday and keep it rolling, baby, all the way to the Lombardi Trophy. Dang it, tighten up. Oh, yeah.